Wow, it's hard to be with such a handsome person. It is a challenge. Look at him.
You talking about yourself?
No, own it. You have to own your God-given gifts. You were made handsome, and so you can misuse that, of course, as I have. You name it, I've misused it. Oh my God! But that's part of living, right? This poem. So I was going to ask Heinz. This is Heinz. This is Heinz with a very wonderful last name that I cannot remember.
Thomas Vital.
Thomas Vital?
Yep.
Heinz? I mean, would you vote for him?
I vote for me.
I vote just for the name. Heinz. This reeks of richness. It reeks of it. It reeks of aristocratic inheritance.
I'm still waiting for my inheritance.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to get my paycheck for everything.
Yes,
under
just
my name.
yes, Heinz Thomas Vital. I mean that has like Franklin Delano Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you mentioned you've been dabbling in poetry, or you've been seriously involved in poetry.
Not seriously involved in poetry, but for a lot of my life, I took just the simpleness of writing.
Yeah.
I took that for granted, and recently, it's either like writing notes or just anything. I've just been writing a lot lately, and just like that, it's just been fun.
That's a great way to begin to write.
Yeah.
Are you just like 22, 23?
20.
20, help, look how relaxed he is. I mean, look at that. I am 82 and a half. I am slowly learning to be like you. My friend Sarah, who's in her late 40s, says she wants to be like Heinz when she grows up. Look at how you are. How did that happen?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just myself.
Yeah, well, that's hard.
I think
It took me until 80 years to be myself.
So you don't think you've been yourself?
No, I was trying so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I was lucky. I had this close friend who's really a caring, loving person. She does not know how to talk. Mm-hmm. She is like, did you ever see Pigpen in Charlie Brown? He's walking around with a big...
Oh, yeah.
And so I was with her. We had this caring, loving person. She's really a people pleaser, but really can't. It's not just she does it. When I was sick, I had the sinus cancer operation. Mm-hmm. She came to the hospital, to the rehab, to my bedroom. But the words. For various reasons, she had trouble talking. We won't go into it now. But she didn't really have anyone to talk to, unlike you, who had a loving mother. And so it was so hard. It was really like me. It was a mirror of me. I could feel this confusion of words, and I had most of my life learned to relate to people by talking. I was a teacher, a student, and I had to learn. It took 11 years to learn, finally, to feel her beneath the words. And and now I can feel the love. I sometimes have to interrupt, and continually say, could you, she gave me a book, 10-second miracle. So speak in 10 seconds. And she just, have you been with these people that speak on and on and on?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was hard. So now I can feel the love even when that happens.
Yeah.
So I don't have to relate via words. I can relate heart to heart or body to body. What a gift that was. That took until I was 80.
Wow.
So you've got it down.
Sort of. I mean, I'm still trying to like I'm still every day I want to improve whatever I'm doing who I am. I don't think this is like my final form, but I still accept even if like I look back at this video itself and I'm like, "Oh, I don't really like myself there." Like don't really like myself. I still accept that, that was still me. This I'm still as much Heinz as I was Heinz when I was like 8 years old. Like even if I had completely different interests and motives.
Wow, that's interesting. I also try to be new every day, mainly because it was so painful. Oh, help. Oh my Lord. Um, so, I'm finally just as my faculties are fading, life is better and better.
That's a good way to look at it. Though,
So this poem, which we used to have a video camera here before your time, and you could put this on and it would show on the screen. But we might read it.
Okay.
Yes, because it bears on this. And you've never even heard of him.
No.
He was a Sufi. And Sufis are Muslims who often twirl around and around and dance. Mm-hmm. And they have divine experiences when they do this. So they're called Sufis because they wore simple clothes. Sufi, among other meanings, means just a simple wool coat. Mm-hmm. And he is, according to many people, the best read poet in America.
Wow.
And he lived over 800 years. He was born over 800 years ago.
What?
Yep. And he wrote in Persian. Some people call him the Persian, his poetry, the Persian Koran. You know, the Koran is a book where Muhammad experiences divinity or a messenger from divinity saying words to him. And Rumi used to dance around and yell out words, and the students would write them down, and that's how the poems were made.
Interesting.
I should try that.
Yeah, honestly.
So I think I'm going to let you read it first.
Okay.
I'll read it again, and then we'll see what we make of it.
Okay. Am I reading it out loud?
Yes, you're reading this out loud.
Okay.
Slow because the audience can't see it.
Yep. All right. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes to an unexpected visitor.
Comes as an unexpected visitor.
Oh, comes as an unexpected.
See, I know it.
Yeah, you know it off the top of your head. You caught that.
So read that again, the whole from the beginning, from the top.
This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to read it again, and then you're going to tell me what it means to you at this moment.
Okay.
Because you're virgin about this.
Yeah.
You've never heard of it?
Never heard of it.
Right.
First time reading.
Okay. The guest house. This, being human, is the guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of all its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Okay, now Heinz, first time hearing this poem, is going to tell us what it means to him.
I think this actually means something I've been trying to practice, like, on my own lately. Just, like, so essentially this guy's saying just being human is like a guest house. Says it straight up right there. Guest house is always it has guests, new people coming in and out. Just like people that are in your lives, like that. For example, people that I went to high school with, I realized how much, like, it's just been like I've known you my entire life up until I was like 18, and now it's like I don't know what you're doing.
Wow.
And you know, those can bring like a various amount of like feelings, but it's
So what kind of feelings?
The joy, the depression, meanness.
You get depressed? Heinz gets depressed?
Heinz gets depressed.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Heinz is mean too?
Heinz. I got some mean moments.
Yes?
Yeah.
Tell me a mean moment if you want.
Oh, maybe not a lot straight to people's faces unless if you're mean to me first, but like I definitely have a lot of moments in my car when I'm driving. I'll be so pissed at someone if like they do something.
Wow, I have a friend like that.
Mm-hmm. But like I try to dial it back because I mean
I tried to be good because I was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would just want to nuke the world. So I tried to be a people pleaser like my friend, but it would come out in the morning very violently. Until recently, finally, I think I'm realizing, like this poem says, that all the things I did that were embarrassing, like I had 22 women friends, and I didn't treat them, even my wife, I didn't know how to really, if I would even touch them when I touched them, it was often very lovely, but I didn't realize it was their shoulder, not just me. I would say, oh, thank you for being my supporting cast and helping me feel good. I didn't even know they were beautiful. Now I can see it, but I didn't. It was, as a friend of mine says, me, 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 me. And I would cover it by doing nice things for people, helping them move. So I am been helped by this poem to, I'm not sure I greet these difficult feelings, these violences, these murderous feelings. I know to stay with them. And then I say, well, thank you for the power. I'd like you to help me help people like Heinz grow. Die to the old Heinz. Hooray for the new one. So it's a powerful instinct, but it's for you and me. Can we die and be reborn?
Yeah.
And not just... So this poem helped out a lot.
For sure. Yeah, I like it a lot. Like I said, it resonates with something I've been trying to practice a lot, and I feel like I've been doing a lot better.
Oh, look at you. We're getting a new appreciator of Rumi.
Yeah.
So what does this mean? Even if there are a crowd of welcome and entertain them all. Even if there are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of all its furniture.
I'd say that's like, say if like you just got negative things just happening, like maybe your job's not going well, or like you having problems with your partner, or,
Yes.
and it's just these things in a row, like happening a lot more consistently than you'd like, to just welcome it. I mean, and welcoming it doesn't even necessarily mean like you have to welcome it like if these are all good things, but like to accept like these things happen, and they'll come and they'll go, and even if they feel like, even if it does literally like sweep you out of your house,
Whether like the floods in Katrina or the wildfires in the Southwest in California, the hurricanes or the war in Ukraine. Oh, some of them are really tough.
yeah,
And he's saying not only accept them, he's saying, which is harder, welcome them because they've been sent as a guide from beyond. There's a Buddhist story of a young man who breaks a leg. And the neighbors say to his father, oh, you must feel so upset that your young son who's helping you in the farming broke a leg. And his father said, well, who knows? The next day, the military came to town and drafted every available man, but they wouldn't take him.
wow.
And they said, well, you must be so lucky, your son. He says, well, who knows?
Yeah.
So they can be, there certainly was the gift the first time. And maybe, I think now, with all the embarrassing things I've done, and the pain I've caused people, and I think I could feel it now. I had a friend, I broke up with her. I broke up for not good reasons. I once broke up with a woman I eventually married because she didn't want to lend her typewriter to my friend. I said, you're so selfish, I can't, I mean, just ridiculous. So typewriter. That was before computers. Oh my. And I used to be just embarrassed or just hurt just thinking of stuff I did. And now I say, well, it's a helpful memory to not be that way anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a friend who didn't want to drive me home from the theater. I was just recovering from my sinus cancer operation. I took a left. I didn't hold it against her. I mean, some little part of me was, but I let it go.
Yeah.
So this might be hard when they're big things. I mean, you're 21 now?
20 turning 21 in like 20 days.
What's the date?
It's the 17th of October, so my math might be wrong.
Oh, in less than 3 weeks, or very
Less
close.
than 3 weeks, yeah.
Very close to 3 weeks. And then you're allowed to drink, or is it 18 to drink?
21 I'm allowed to drink, but I don't like alcohol.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just not. It's yucky to me, and
Wow.
I don't like all the examples I've seen in my life of people getting drunk.
Yes,
It's
I've
just-
never been drunk. I've
Yeah.
been high once. I have a friend and we share one we share one craft cocktail every 3 months. Once a season.
Yeah.
We're really not very... Okay, so you haven't had violently swept your house empty of all its furniture, it sounds.
Not necessarily. I feel like some negative things have happened, some things that have gotten me down, and like I still have reasons to be down, but nothing that is completely felt like it's broken me.
Do you want to say one? You don't need to unless you want to.
Just like I mean, like, yeah, this is just like little stuff. Like when I was like a teenager, um, like my first breakup, like that felt like the end of the world. But like
Yes,
that's
yes,
it's like it's your first breakup, and when you grow up, you feel like, well, like why you you don't expect that first relationship to work out, especially when you go into it as like a kid.
yes.
So like yeah, just little things like that, or like in the grand scheme of things, like it becomes little.
Yeah, we don't have like it's happening in many countries like Ukraine or Africa.
Mm-hmm.
But if it happens, this poem is going to help me, I hope. If things really fall apart, I mean, they certainly do in California, get your home burned, or in New Orleans, you get your flooded, so, or let alone what's happened to both, I'm Jewish, you're black, what's happened to our people. Oh, jeez. And now what the Israelis are doing to the Palestinians. Help!
Always something going on in the world.
Oh, help! Oh my. I'm gonna cry. Okay, where are we? Treat each guest honorably. Wow, is that hard?
That's the part where if I'm being honest, I'm like, I mean, so what I have been trying to practice was like, yeah, I'm not, if something negative happens to me, I'm not gonna sit there and just be like, oh man, I'm so mad, because I used to respond like that. I
Yes.
used to be like,
Oh, you've grown in your 20 years? Wow.
well, I still have my moments where I need to, like, maybe I'll go on for like 10 minutes, but I'll need to like dial it back. But like I said, I haven't really gone
Wow.
through, I feel like, the worst of it, and I'm very grateful for that.
Even for the worst?
I'm grateful for the worst. Like I mean, I used to kind of sit there and be like, oh, this terrible thing has happened to me, and I'm upset and I'm angry, but like there's not much that'll change. If I mean, I'm the only person in control of my life, and not much is gonna move or change if I'm not making myself move or change. So I
Wow.
can't sit there and dwell on just dwell on the bad.
It says I was just telling a friend of mine who was just booted out of an a justice movement that is probably too good for them. And there's two mantras that are hard. I have one friend who tries to say in her better moments, why is this happening for me? It sounds like you're a long way on that.
Yeah, look, pretty much, yeah.
I'm getting there. I'll have to see, because in the mornings in the past, I would be embarrassed at some of the things I did. I had a woman friend who was very angry at me after we broke up. I was biking down Brattle Street. She ran out of the Cambridge Center for Adult Education to flag me down, and I just kept biking. Some little part of me is liking it. Take that.
Mm-hmm.
And another part which I'm learning is, oh, it's so hard to feel what it's like to be her. Oh my. No wonder I didn't want to do that. No wonder I didn't want to do that. I think I can now. As I fade away into the sunset. Okay, we're getting there.
Getting there.
Honor, to treat them honorably. That, you have some of that already?
Yeah, I have some of that already. I'm still like I treat it like, for example, I got a flat tire a couple weeks ago, and I was very upset about it the first time. and like I had to spend a lot of money because there was a lot more wrong with my car. But it's, all I can do is just keep going. I gotta these problems happen, and I gotta be. It's like I got all right. So this is random. Uh, I like to play these things called fighting games. You play a fighting game, you can play against another person, fight against each other, and when you're playing a fighting game, the most important thing is to kind of like be like calm and collected, so that you can really think out and like really like play like a game of like mind chess against your opponent.
Wow.
Um,
So what would be an example? I'd be interested.
like I play this game like Mortal Kombat, and like yeah, it's really just like if I sit here and I let this person frustrate me, I'm not gonna be playing right. I'm not gonna remember which buttons to press. Which
Wow,
combinations.
very nice.
But if I sit there, I take my time and I, really get a read on this person, what I want to do and what they're doing against me, then I have a better chance at like beating them. That's how I view things in like life. Just like I'm not gonna get to where I want. I'm not gonna get the results that I want if I'm angry. If I'm just like
Boy, I want to stay around. You see, I'm 82 and a half, but I'd like to live another to 100 just to see what happens to you.
we'll see.
Well, yeah, it's because it's great. Okay, so I'm going to try to treat them honorably. They do clear me out. Oh my goodness, I have a very dear friend, but he was homeless. I took him in for 2 weeks. He stayed for over 6 years, and now he's moving out, and I'll miss him terribly. But it's good for him to get his own place.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So that's clearing me out. Who knows how I haven't lived alone for 6.5 years. Or say six. Well, this is the 7th year. Okay, we're almost done. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. We've really taken care of those. You don't get too ashamed, do you?
I do.
Oh, I do too. I get ashamed of how I've treated. It would be a plus. I'm ashamed of how I treated women. If I would be ashamed of how I treated my students either. Also, I taught over 100 different classes at the Cambridge Center for Adult Education. I had a student after I taught 5 years, and she said, I'm going to sum up what you've been communicating to your students for 5 years in 2 words. Love me. I wanted them to, I was concerned with them loving me rather than, are they really getting what the class is about? So, I mean, I did a decent job. They kept me, but I could be ashamed of that. I am now glad that I learned from it, and I think I could be a better teacher now.
I think so too. Especially with this poem. I carry a lot of shame, but like I try to accept. Like I think I only shame myself because I try to tell myself that's not me anymore. Which like if it's like I've never done this, but like if I was ashamed of stealing, like like obviously that's not me. Like if I was like a thief, like I'm not I'm not that anymore. But like I can't just like pretend. I got so many years, like the last 20 years of my life of history. I don't want to just forget it because I'm also the only writer of my current story right now. Unless if I was Michael Jackson, then someone else would be keeping tabs of that for me. But I'm the only one that can remember that. I'm the only one that can remember that story for myself other than anybody else that's involved in my shame. So I want to even keep those parts inside of me and keep them on the brain.
Can you think of an example? You don't have to share unless you want to, of something shameful you've done.
Something shameful. Just kind of my attitude towards my family, like from like when I was like 12 to like maybe 16, 17. I just wasn't. I'm just not a fan of myself then.
So what was the attitude?
It was rude.
What would be an example
Just-
of rudeness, if you don't mind?
Uh, I know I held a grudge against my sister for like ripping up this like mini poster I had when I was younger for a long time.
Oh,
For a very, very long time.
that's
To the
hard.
point where I realized that like one day I dropped it. One day I just kind of like I was like whatever, cuz like when you try to hold that grudge, like I'm like actively trying to make myself remember like, oh yeah, but remember you can't be because she did this. So like one day I kind of just dropped it, and then I like it came to the point where I realized like, oh snap, no wait, this like my sister is a person, and this had a real effect on her, and that like I should have dropped it sooner,
Wow.
or at least I should have let her known, like, or had a conversation about it. But I don't know. I don't think it's one of those shoulda coulda situations, because me and my sister are good, and I think I wouldn't have it any other way.
Whoa. Okay. We want to ask you, Dark Thought. We did shame. Dark Thought, I have a lot of malice. I think I even had some malice riding past my former woman friend at the Cambridge Center. I didn't even know I had it. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Wow. Okay. You almost are doing this. Well, that's how I was. Or that's, oh, I have these dark thoughts, shame, malice. Help. I realized I could laugh and cry at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very helpful. And invite them in. Now, this is why he wants to invite them in. This is what I'm just learning this last 2 days. Be grateful for whoever comes. What do you think? Be grateful for whoever comes.
Everything's a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get something from everybody.
Because each has been sent. This is hard. I mean, if you're being tortured in Guantanamo, it might be hard to. This might be a hard poem.
Mm-hmm.
Because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. What does that mean?
I'm still trying to figure that out myself, because I, like, in that situation, I don't think anybody, like, if, like you said, if someone was being tortured, I don't think anybody deserves that suffering, or like that's a necessary lesson or guide.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Everyone's been put on this earth not for a specific purpose, but everyone, since we're all so different, living different lives, we all have different stories. There's no way all of us can be the same, all of us. I mean, in a perfect world, I wish all of us had peace, but in this current world, we all got different stories, and everyone's got different guides that take them through different paths, whether that turns you evil or turns you good, neutral, whatever your definition of both of those are. Everyone has that route that sends them where they go, where they
So
end
if you're
up.
a Native American, it's hard
Yeah.
not to hate. Certainly white men.
I feel like it's justified to hate.
Yes. They think, well, or being Jewish after being treated the way, and of course black. It might, you can certainly hate, but you might, I don't know what to say.
Maybe more like it's, you know, at least the way I see it. I think there's a lot of reasons why black people can hate white people for like everything, but
Or Native Americans.
or Native Americans or anybody else who's been affected by
Yeah.
anything like that. But
South America, Central America.
this is our current lives. We, I think if you continue fighting for what's right, that's cool, and this is our current lives, and like I said, you're the only one that's gonna push yourself, and you can join up movements to change stuff in the world. If you don't like gentrification, you can band together, we can fight that, but only we can fight that. Yeah, there's no, we can't, dwelling in the past is only going to do us so much.
Right, we can take the one philosopher, Nietzsche, said, if it doesn't kill me, it'll make me stronger.
Yeah.
So maybe the injustice, yes. I think the only question is, what can I do with it? I think that's what you're saying. Whatever I'm experiencing, can I use it as fuel to make a better world for myself and everybody else? And as a guide from beyond, in you, I don't know what your spiritual beliefs are.
I'm very loosely spiritual because of my partner. She teaches me a lot of spiritual things, and I like to believe them for like just luck and for.
I like luck.
Yeah.
My belief system, after careful study for 20 years, I believe in luck.
Yep. Yeah. Just luck, and that's as far as it goes. If there's a God, then I'll be like, sure. If there's not, then I'm like, sure.
Oh, so you're agnostic.
I guess so. I don't know what that is.
Agnostic means I don't know.
I don't know, yeah.
An atheist says, my brother's an atheist. No way, he says. Mm-hmm. And I need all the help I can get, so I believe there's spiritual energies around the sun, the moon, the oceans, you. Some people believe we all have angels, or we might have two of them, dark and light. So, can our experiences be gifts? Wow, would that be nice? To go around that way, to live that way. And these are feelings and thoughts that are surprising, right? They're not like the ones you know, and they're surprising all the time to me. And I'd love to welcome them, invite them in, say, oh my, I didn't know I was so angry, or I didn't know I was so joyful. That could be, so they come like spring out of winter and surprise us, and the seasons are gifts, even the winter, right?
Yeah.
Well, we only have 7 minutes, and I want you to read it again.
Sure.
And stop anytime you want. I won't interrupt if you have anything to say, and then I'll read it one last time.
All right. This, being human, is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door, laughing, and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
Wow. Love the way you read it. Makes more sense now, yes?
It does, yeah. I mean, I feel like this has made sense to me from the get go. You know, like I really resonate with this poem.
It's a famous poem, The Guest House. Wow. Well, it's hard to read it again, but I'm going to. Hopefully the audience is still with us. I'm putting this, if it's okay with you, on YouTube.
Sure.
And we'll send you how Sarah does it.
It's gonna be like cute to remember like 10 years from now. When
wow.
I'm famous, and I'll be on like some famous talk show. I'll be like, yeah, that was my buddy Michael. You know.
Yes, might have left us now. He's in heaven.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully. Well, we'll see.
Hopefully you're in heaven if that happens, but hopefully you're still there, and I'll be like, hey, Michael, he's coming on to the show.
If I'm healthy. If I want to live to 100 healthy. Okay. The Guest House. This, being human, is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival. A joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door, laughing, and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Maybe we're like plants or trees, yes?
In a way.
And stuff's coming up, sap, and from the sun and the wind and the earth, and we're budding and blossoming, and birds come, and they're all, I mean, everything's powered by the sun, and the sun's powered by the galaxy, so these energies are coming into us. And I think from this poem, we're all growing like trees or like rabbits. We're all made to grow. And some of us, not you, have our buds crushed when we're young. I have a friend of mine, Gene Mason, who says most people don't survive their childhood. They get stuck. You might know something like that. But Rumi is saying, it reminds me of the Bible. The happy man is like a tree planted by a stream of water. Whoa! Well, thank you. We only have a minute and 40 seconds so why don't you're good at this, sum up for our audience what we would like them to take from this.
I hope you take from this that anything that's bad that has happened to you, that's currently happening to you, something that you're even reflecting on, that's still stuck on your mind, take it all as a lesson, and keep pushing forward, because you're the only person that can push yourself forward. Nobody else is going to help you the way that you help yourself, and you can do whatever the hell you want. Honestly, we're all just as capable as the next person.
Wow.
Every single person, even if you're not like well versed, even if you're not like a tech genius or whatever, you can get there if you really want to learn. If you
There's
really
a
care
song
to get there.
before your time, Jimmy Cliff.
Uh-huh.
You can get it if you really want. You can get it if you really want, but you must try. Same thing you're saying. Try, you'll succeed at last.
Exactly.
You'll succeed at last.
Exactly. So yeah, you can do it. You got it. Whatever you want to do, I believe in you, but you should believe in yourself even more and fight for it.
And even the joys you can learn from. He's not just saying hard times.
Not even just the hard times.
Just joy. Much joy. Let us learn from joy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heinz. Wow.